Hello friends, Leeds are close to the signing of Weston McKennie from Juventus, but how could he improve them? Well, join me as we head to the tactics board today to talk about all of that and more. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well so that you never ever miss an upload. You don't want to miss what's coming up in the near future. And now let's talk about Weston McKennie to Leeds United and how he might improve them. If you're unfamiliar with Weston McKennie, then allow me to give you a couple of facts. He's a 24-year-old American midfielder from Juventus. In the 2022-23 season, the one that we're in currently, he has played 21 times and has scored 3 goals with 2 assists. You might be thinking that that's a little bit low. However, him being on the pitch and his impact on the field, I think, will be the greatest asset for Leeds going forwards. Not necessarily the goal numbers or the assist numbers that he puts up. It's his presence within the side that I think will allow Leeds to go a little step further. But instead of me telling you that, allow me to show you. Here we have the Leeds United side. This is actually the Leeds United side that played against Brentford. I was impressed to a certain extent, but I have found myself with a lot of problems with this Leeds side. One of them being one of the ones I've highlighted right here in Brandon Aronson. I think he's a very good attacking midfielder, but that is what he is. He's an attacking midfielder. He's not a winger. Too many times I've seen him being asked to run down the channel or try and cut inside with a mazy run, and I don't think that's his job. He likes to cut inside, he likes to move into the centre of the pitch, and that's generally where he finds himself a lot of the time. You can tell by his heat map, he likes to cut inside. And yes, you could say this is because you want Luke Ayling to really come across, really make those driving runs, those overlapping runs to create overloads. That's fine, but Luke Ayling is not the defensive player that he once was, and it means that they leave themselves exposed more often than not down this right hand channel. They actually concede a lot of possession down this right hand channel, and it really is an opportunity for the opposition to really gain momentum. I don't think that Luke Ayling should be going forwards as many times as he does, and I actually think that Leeds could be doing with a little bit more stability, and that's down to Brendan Aronson's position and his lack of real keeping to the right hand side. He needs to make sure that he's staying in this position. I don't think he wants to, and I don't think he should. I think he should be in a comfortable position for himself because he's one of the main creators for this side. So keeping him happy and making sure he's in the correct area, I think, is one of the most vital things, which means I think he's not in the correct position right now. The same can be said for Gnonto, who is one of the most creative players in the league right now. He's one of the youngest, attacking, exciting wingers, and I do think he's being underutilized at the moment. We can see that he's in this central attacking midfield position. I understand everything that Jesse Marsch is trying to do. Well, perhaps not everything, but I do understand what he's trying to do with Gnonto in this position. Rodrigo will drop deeper. Gnonto will then make those overlying runs out and try to get himself closer to goal. He's got pace, he's got power, and he's good with the ball at his feet. I understand why he's got him in this position. That being said, I think it is overcomplicating his game. I do think he would be benefiting from out on this left hand side. If I remember the game against Aston Villa, Gnonto was absolutely fantastic during that game. He had Ashley Young so many times, and it was down to some sheer bad luck that Leeds didn't get anything from that game. Jack Harrison is always going to be a question mark because you've got links about his future elsewhere. I do think that there is a position for Jack Harrison in the squad. That being said, I don't have him in my starting 11 once I show you that in just a second with Weston McKennie in the side. I do think that there is a position for him, but he needs to come back into the side. I've been quite disappointed with some of his performances of late. Moving forwards, I think that Tyler Adams and Mark Rocker are fine together. That being said, I do think we're underutilizing Tyler Adams somewhat. He has the ability to really play as a sole pivot with a couple of midfielders next to him. He can read the game very, very well, and if you were to move him around, he has the ideal capabilities for being able to move across the pitch. He's able to read danger, he can sense it out, and he also has a passing range that allows him to really get out of trouble. And if he has enough players around him, enough people in enough space, I do think he'll be absolutely fine in this central defensive midfield position. That's not to say that Rocker doesn't have a part to play. He definitely does. I just don't think he has the physical attributes for the high intensity football that Leeds are trying to play at the moment. Right, let's have a look how Weston McKennie can change this Leeds side. We have this new look Leeds, and I think it looks absolutely sensational. We have them set up in a 4-3-3 formation. We have Tyler Adams as the holding central midfielder. We have Weston McKennie as this left central attacking midfielder, and we have Aronson as this right attacking midfielder. Nonto is on the left side. Sinistera, one of Leeds' new signings from the summer, who hasn't really hit the heights that they would hope him to, has come back into the side. I think he will benefit from a longer run in the side. Obviously, he needs to understand how the side plays, and obviously he needs to just bed into the group. Rodrigo keeps his spot. However, I would switch out for Patrick Bamford if he can ever regain full fitness. Now, looking at this, how does Weston McKennie really affect this game? Well, he affects the game with the formation that I have picked, and that's because of the real ability he has to drive up and down the pitch. When we have a look at how Weston McKennie plays, he's very physical, he's good with the ball at his feet, he's good at reading passes, and he's also good at working with teammates. He can drive with the ball, but also he can linger into positions in these channels. We all know about these channels, we all know how these affect games. The channels in between the centre-back and the full-back, and these are two channels that I think Leeds could exploit massively, especially with the likes of Brandon Aronson and Weston McKennie. They can both drive into these spaces and allow themselves to really get into attacking areas. This frees up the ability for the wingers in Nonto and Sinistera to do what they want. They can either cut inside and allow themselves for different positions, or they can help out and really help with the overloading of certain areas. This helps and means that the fullbacks don't need to go forwards, which also helps your defensive stability, and it also allows the likes of Tyler Adams to really help him with the fullbacks to really drift across and make sure that they are defensively sound. So all this seems very, very good, but also from a defensive perspective, Weston McKennie is actually very, very good. He's good physically, he means he can run back, he's good at running up and down these channels, and I also think that Brendan Aronson would be more comfortable with doing this as well. It allows him to really move and be a little bit more free. On top of that, when you think about it as well, if I just remove these boxes, what you actually have now is an American midfield. And I'm sure this is something that Jesse Marsch will have wanted to do, and I'm sure that he likes working with these players and has worked with these players before, and he understands their system. But also, I think there's something quite exciting about a young, hungry, physical, hard-working American midfield that can really help Leeds United. It's a fundamental basis, and I do think the midfield is an extremely crucial area. Tyler Adams being that defensive pivot with Aronson and McKennie as almost two hard-working eights. It's got something of a Liverpool vibe about it, and I'm not saying it from necessarily a quality point of view, but I'm saying it from a setup and work rate point of view. I think Aronson is a hard-working player. I just think he was underutilised out on that right-hand side, and I do think that Weston McKennie adds a whole lot of attacking verve, but also defensive solidity when it comes to being really physical, when it comes to really working hard. I think this sets up Leeds very, very well. If you're a Leeds United supporter that is concerned by the almost attacking intent that I have with this, well, don't fear, because there is an easy fix, and it all comes down to Weston McKennie being in this side. This is the last thing that I'm going to show, but I do think it's something that's extremely important. Within this American midfield, because they're so comfortable with each other and because they're so good at talking with each other, I think there's room for manoeuvre. And what I mean by that is Adams could switch over, McKennie could drop a little bit deeper, which he has the ability to do. If we think about how he can play and how he goes forwards, I think McKennie is the perfect player to be able to utilise both of these roles. This then allows Brendan Aronson to come in as the central attacking midfielder and really make that position his own when they need to be a little bit more defensive. So any Leeds fans who thought that this formation was a little bit too attacking, perhaps it was a little bit too much, it can always change. I think that Leeds could transition to a side that plays two different systems based on how they go forwards and how they defend. In defence, they could be with two central defensive midfielders with Adams and McKennie, Aronson as an attacking midfielder being able to press and go forwards, and then when they go into attack, you then have the option for Aronson to drift out into this right-hand side, McKennie to go out to this left, and Adams as the central midfield pivot. This works because they all are American, they all talk to each other, they're all friends, they all understand each other's game, they've all been to the men's national team together, and they all understand the qualities, the benefits, the positives and negatives of each other's game, which is extremely important. I think this midfield three is something that could really unlock Leeds and allow them to go forwards, and it's only available by adding Weston McKennie to this side. What a great addition it would be, and I think Leeds fans should be very, very excited. That's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave the video with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well so that you never ever miss an upload. Like I said, you don't want to miss what's coming up in the near future. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about Weston McKennie joining Leeds? Are you excited? Are you not? Tell me how you are feeling. How do you see Leeds this season going? Let me know that as well. I want to hear from you, so please get in touch. That's it from me for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.